Hey guys, welcome to my Genius Hour TED Talk. My name is Paula Burrows, and my Genius Hour question was whether or not I'd be able to teach myself how to do an elbow stand in 5 weeks. So, when we first learned about Genius Hour, I thought it sounded like the greatest thing. Why not let students learn about their passions, use their creativity to learn about whatever they wanted to? Seemed like a great idea. But when we were told that we were going to be doing our own Genius Hour questions, I had no idea where to begin. What is something that I want to learn more about? What am I passionate about? I had no clue where to start. What really motivated me was instead of asking myself, what questions do you want to answer? What do you want to learn more about? What are you passionate about? I came across the question, what do you want to get better at? And for me, that was super easy. I want to get better at yoga. I grew up dancing all the time, and a lot of my teachers really encouraged us to do yoga. It's a great stress reliever. It helps you connect to your body, and obviously it helps you stay fit. So for a really long time, I've loved going to classes, and I also really love just putting on a YouTube video of a yoga sequence and practicing in my living room. There's a common misconception out there that yoga is one of the easier forms of exercise. Everyone thinks that because it must be a big stress reliever and because the movements are a lot more slow and controlled, it's probably an easier way to exercise. Well, it's not. One of my favorite memories in a yoga studio was taking one of my closest friends who is extremely fit. She plays varsity rugby, varsity hockey, and she goes to the gym at least 4 times a week. So this girl knows how to work out. But I took her to one of my yoga classes. She thought it was going to be a breeze for her, and she was sweating buckets. She found it so tricky because we were working tiny little muscles that she had never even concentrated on before. It was great. Just goes to show that just because yoga is slower and more controlled does not mean that it's easy. I know everyone can probably relate when I say I feel like I don't have time to work out anymore. Trying to balance homework, a social life, and don't even get me started on grocery shopping. There's no time to hit the gym or even a yoga studio. So when I asked myself the question, what do I want to get better at? I knew that the answer was yoga. I love the idea of having time to practice yoga, get better at it, and I love seeing pictures and videos of people who are able to do such cool yoga inversions. I thought, I should be able to do that. I want to learn how to do that. So that's how I came to my Genius Hour question. Can I teach myself to do an elbow stand in 5 weeks? So step 1 to being able to do an elbow stand was looking up different exercises and stretches that might help my body become better prepared to do an elbow stand. So I did some research and I found a couple. Some of the yoga poses that I found were the plank pose, the downward dog, dolphin pose, a back bridge, and the Superman pose. So the first couple weeks I did these exercises, I tried these stretches as often as possible, and I practiced and practiced and practiced, but I just wasn't getting anywhere. So during my research, my Genius Hour project, I decided to look at different types of yoga and which ones might be more beneficial to me and what I'm looking for. So I highlighted 6 different ones in my blog, but these aren't the only 6 that are out there. Some websites were listing up to 14 or 15 different types of yoga, but these 6 were the ones that I found were the most popular and the most talked about. So the first one is Hatha Yoga. So this is the more beginner type of yoga. And then Vinyasa Yoga is usually also called Power Yoga. So those classes are a little bit more fast-paced. And then there's Iyengar Yoga. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. That one's named after the founder of this type of yoga. So it's best for back alignment and neck alignment, so people who have chronic pain. And it does feature some inversions as well. And then Bikram Yoga is one of the most popular because it is also known as hot yoga. So you basically do what it sounds like. You do yoga in a really hot room, and you do the same poses twice through with some deep breathing exercises in between. And then another one that's tricky to say is Kundalini Yoga, probably not saying it right, and that is considered the most out there type of yoga. So there's a lot of chanting and a lot of deep breathing exercises, as well as focusing on the poses and the movements, but you definitely have to have a creative, open frame of mind to take one of these classes. And then the last one is the Ashtanga yoga form, another tricky name, and that one is for the most advanced yogis and is the fastest pace, and you can do up to 70 poses in one 90-minute class. So that's very fast. So, as the weeks went on and I continued to practice for my Genius Hour project, I think I sort of started to lose track of why I started this Genius Hour project in the first place. I love yoga, I wanted to get better at it, I wanted to have more time to practice. But as the weeks went on and every time I rolled out my mat, it became all about I have to get this elbow stand. By the end of today, I have to get this elbow stand. Okay, by the end of this week, I have to get this elbow stand. And instead of concentrating on enjoying my yoga practice, concentrating on my breathing, on my poses, and getting better at the entire practice of yoga, all I was thinking about was this one elbow stand, this one pose. So, although I am able to get myself into an elbow stand, I did not reach my goal, which was to get into an elbow stand and hold it for 30 seconds. I can't hold it. I get up there and I basically fall right out. Even though I didn't reach my final goal, I am still really happy with this Genius Hour project. I had a ton of fun doing it, and I think that I really did gain a better appreciation for yoga, which is what I wanted, and I loved that I had the time and the excuse to practice yoga a lot more. So I wanted to finish off by saying that I had such a blast with this Genius Hour project. I'm 22 and I had so much fun working on a project that I was passionate about. I can't imagine how beneficial it must be for young kids to do the exact same thing. Yeah, there were times that I was stressed out and I was really busy and I was not too pleased about the thought of rolling out a yoga mat and filming myself for a few hours. But overall, I think it was a huge stress relief and it was great to concentrate on something other than the typical schoolwork all day, every day. I think it's really clear to see that if I can benefit from a Genius Hour project, then obviously my students will be able to benefit from them as well. Thanks for watching.